Everything's pretty much in order. They get up and leave. Like in the net. You have to? So if it goes over the corner and then it goes into the triangle, technically it goes clear to this fence, but then it comes back to the plate. 350. That's it doesn't matter what else.
Yes, sir.
Yep. They have to call in new umpires?
Yes, I will. You never know what time. I don't know. You might have somebody, I don't know, you may have
Hey, bring it in! Go!
We are the whole crowd. How many baseballs do you want to start with? 6.
Game 4 of the 2024 Intercity League Semifinals here on the Blue Sox Baseball Network on YouTube from Minuteman High School in Lexington, Mass. Lexington Blue Sox on top of the Middlesex Expos 2-1, and with a win tonight can advance to the Intercity League Championship Series to face their longtime rivals, the Andre Chiefs. Sam Feely here with you, and by my side tonight, as she is in everyday life, it's the wife, Katrina Good.
Hi, everyone.
Blue Sox coming off a quite an offensive explosion if you've seen the other games between these two teams leading up to this point in the season. Both teams with a season high in runs in the season series against each other, with the Expos posting 5 and the Blue Sox posting 10. In fact, more runs for each team in that game than either had scored up to this point against each other all year. The Expos with 5 after 3 in the first 3 in the first 4 meetings this season, and the Blue Sox with 10 after 5 in the first 4 meetings rather this season. 4 meetings, my mistake. Math is hard. Well, it is not going to be Luis Cespedes, as many were saying, many being me, tonight to see if the Expos can keep their season alive. It is going to be Dan Shaw, who got the start on the mound in Game 1 of this series. He went the distance, but took the L in the 8-inning, extra inning loss, 1-0 to the Blue Sox in Game 1 last Tuesday at East Boston Stadium. Cespedes is available as a sub according to the lineup card that Brandon Anderson submitted. So it is within the realm of possibility that we'll see him tonight. It is a normal amount of rest for Shaw, 4 days, and for Cespedes, of course, too. But we'll be looking at Shaw tonight to see if he can even his record in this series and even this series and force a decisive Game 5 tomorrow night. And with no rain in the forecast until maybe this coming Saturday evening, should be good to get in Game 5, this game in its entirety tonight. Game 5 necessary tomorrow, and at least the first 3 games, we hope, of the championship series between one of these two teams and the Andre Chiefs over at Morelli starting later this week. Blue Sox will be the home team for this Game 4, and they are in the usual navy jerseys with the red block letters and numbers and the red shoulders, the Pete Frady specials, and meanwhile the Expos in their traditional powder blues with the red numbers, red sleeves, and the red Expos script. Jake McElroy to lead things off in left field, followed by Anderson Jimenez at third. Ben Leonard is the extra hitter. Julian Alvarez at DH. Jeff Costello in center. Dom Gabardi in left. Josue Feliciano at first. Dylan Walsh at second. Charlie Walsh at short. And Max Dushny behind the plate with Luke Deschanel, Tuck's brother, getting the start. And an interesting story about his approach to this game later on as the first pitch swinging. McElroy into deep left center field, but it's a cavernous outfield out there, and in a lot of other parks that is gone. In this park, well, Taveras had to contend with the soccer net there, but makes the catch for out number 1. Absolute
such thing as soccer net interference.
I mean, I think that it's just part of the field, I guess. At that point, it's just like the flagpole that used to be in center field in Houston when Minute Maid Park originally opened, as Jimenez takes ball 1. I think it could become a question like if a ball rolls into the net and then it's too much of a pain to get out of there, like the Ivy at Wrigley. I think you can put your hands up and call for an automatic double. Here's a one-hop throw to first in time to retire Jimenez. Great play by Petroni at short, quickly 2 down. So Couple of tough plays for the Expos here in the early going defensively, but the first two are retired for Ben Leonard, the extra hitter. Now, by Chris Del Sordo's estimation, it's 310 down the left field line, which is actually shallower than it is at Maplewood. It's just the rest of the outfield that is pretty cavernous here. Figured it was a bit of a short porch entrance, but I didn't realize it was that short. Anyways, 1-0 the count to Leonard. Blue Sox winning Game 3 Friday night, 10-5 on just 3 hits and a franchise postseason record since 2006, 13 walks. Into right field by Leonard. And that's out of the right fielder's reach. Rolls to the fence, stays in the park. A little bit of a bobble, but Leonard is going to get to second with a 2-out double. Kind of nonchalantly went back to the bag after a wide turn and nearly got tagged out by Petroni. Batista able to recover in time and nearly get a back-breaking what would have been 3rd out, but a runner in scoring position with 2 down on the 2-out double by Leonard. And here's Julian Alvarez, who had one of those 3 hits on Friday night, a bases-clearing double that tied the game at 4 after the Expos had taken a 4-1 lead half an inning after the Blue Sox had taken a 1-0 lead. Shaw delivers, and that is down and away for ball 1.
Should I start manifesting now like I did during the Chiefs game last year?
I don't know. Were you manifesting the last time we did this during the mass envelope game? I mean, that one, the Blue Sox won 10-0. Here's a grounder to the left side, fielded at 3rd on to 1st, and oof, well, 5-3 ground out will put an end to that inning. Blue Sox cannot cash in on the 2-out double, scoreless after half an inning. And we don't exactly have a booth cam, but how are we manifesting? Like, is there I don't know if it only works for Teddy though. Like he really needed it in that series, and he eventually did get the walk-off RBI single. That was his first hit of that postseason too, I think, to get the series to Game 5, which of course the Chiefs eventually won against the Expos last year. So Luke Deschanel will get the start here in Game 4 for the Blue Sox, and this is the Expos lineup he will face. Ryan Petroni at short, Idilson Taveras in center, Eduardo Soto the DH, Leon Paulino in left, John Batista in right, Ryan Cloutier the extra hitter, Jose Paulino at first, Michael Oliveira at second, Josh Bone at 3rd, and Lucas Rincon behind the plate. You saw Dan Shaw on the mound in the top half of that first inning. Deschanel was warming throughout the game on Friday night. There were multiple instances where he could have, been brought in. Blue Sox ended up using 4 pitchers, I think, in that game. And eventually he got, had the night off in terms of game work, but here he is less than 48 hours later, because after that game, he went up, he and his mom went up to Maine to spend, the weekend there. And then earlier today, while Luke was sunning and, according to Tucker, burning on the beach, he got a text from Rick saying, if you're available to start tonight, it's your ball. And he said, yes, sir, I'll be there. And it's a good thing he was, closer to like Old Orchard Beach or whatever, and not like Aroostook County, because he got down here and here he is trying to pitch the Blue Sox to the championship series.
I just learned that it was Tucker's brother today, and I saw the picture of him on the YouTube stream the other day, and I was like, is Tucker dressed up in a Blue Sox uniform for this picture? Like, they look very similar. I mean,
you would hope so, I'm sure. But then again, you and your 2 sisters look nothing alike. I don't think any of it. I don't know, man, but that's down and away for ball 1. Elise looks more... Caitlin looks more like Elise than any of her blood relatives. It's weird. By the way, congratulations, Elise. as that's fouled off by Petroni for strike 1-1. And why are we saying that, Katrina?
Well, it's a good thing that nobody in Pennsylvania is watching this.
Maybe Mitch McCabe, I don't know. Go on.
My friend announced her pregnancy.
Not just her friend. She was the bridesmaid in Caitlin's wedding. She helped out at our wedding, yeah. Here's the grounder to third. Jimenez, strong throw, and out number 1 for Petroni. So 1 up, 1 down, and that'll bring up Delson Taveras, the center fielder, who just ended had to quite literally move the goalposts to make that that catch for the first out of the top half. So anyways, Luke gets Taveras to swing over the top of that one for strike 1. Luke pitched in 3 games in the regular season. Only pitched 2 2/3 innings, but had a win and a save. In a 2.62 ERA. Here's a grounder to the right side. Sway trying to knock it down and kicks out of his glove over. And Dylan and Charlie Walsh is the closest one to it in the end. Both Sway and Dylan trying to crash towards the hole there on the right side to cut it off. And eventually it's going to be an infield single for Taveras, but he is a speed threat. So not sure if would have gotten the out anyways if PFP came into play, but a tough call there for Luke. That is ball 1 to Eduardo Soto. Luke got the win against East Boston Knights on August 2nd. Inning of work, 2 hits, 1 run, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. That's into right field for a base hit. Taveras will stop at second, and they tried to get him getting back to the second base bag to no avail, but it is now first and second for the Expos. Here is Leon Paulino, the left fielder. Power with the open stance could make this a 3-0 ball game with 1 swing of the bat. Deschanel making his first appearance of the postseason. Only made 1 appearance against an ICL opponent this year. That was July 2nd against the Mad Dogs. Ripped down the line, fair ball into the corner. Taveras can score easily. Soto's being waved around third, and into third goes Paulino. 2-run triple for Leon Paulino, 2-0 Expos.
YouTube.
Yeah, Blue Sox ICL. Yep, Blue Sox ICL, yep. Well, 3 straight hits. And we got it. We had Dush coming out to talk to Deschanel. Already some action in the Blue Sox bullpen, but last night the Blue Sox took that 1-0 lead. Friday night, Blue Sox took a 1-0 lead. And then after the first 2 were retired, 4 straight 2-out hits in the span of about 5 or 6 pitches, culminating in a 3-run home run by Josh Bone, made it 4-1 Expos. And now Batista in a similar spot. Got moved down to the 5 slot in the lineup here tonight after being the 3 slot the first 3 games and was held silent. Drive into left field. That is caught. Paulino tags from third. The throw is offline. It'll be a sac fly, and it is 3-0 Expos. You can't hit the ball much harder than Batista just did, but it was just a low-line drive that was not even going to come close to getting out. The Blue Sox at least get the second out of the inning, but it's now 3-0. So a sac fly and an RBI for Batista. It's 3-0, and now it's Cloutier, who fouls this one off for strike one. Expos came to play tonight, looking to force a Game 5 tomorrow. And Cloutier fouls that one off to fall behind 0-2.
Pretty good turnout of people for a Sunday night, too.
Yeah, 6:45 start. 7 o'clock has been the usual start time here at Minuteman, but that's because the lights go off here at 10 rather than 10:45 over at LHS, and the count will be 1-2. Two and two now to Cloutier. Outside, 3-2, with Jose Paulino due up next. 3 straight hits and then a sac fly have the Expos up 3-0, and Deschanel hoping to close this inning down. Drive into center field and caught for the out that retires the side by Jake McElroy. No Nick Anderson in the lineup tonight, and the Blue Sox, excuse me, that was Costello. No Nick Anderson in the lineup tonight for the Blue Sox, who trail 3-0 after 1.
Yeah. Do you think if they end up having more Blue Sox games here next year, they'd work the scoreboard?
Maybe. I don't know where the controller is, though. I would have to.
Just curious.
Yeah, I'd have to get it from, wherever that stuff is kept at Minuteman. But the scoreboard at Maplewood hasn't worked in years. I don't know if it's just if it's a matter that it doesn't work or just nobody knows where the controller is.
I like how the games at LHS have the scoreboard. It makes it easier to follow.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, you don't get that luxury at a lot of games at this level. Got to rely on people like us. Top of the second, Jeff Costello, Dom Gabardino, Josue Feliciano due up for the Blue Sox. Shaw staked to a 3-0 lead. Costello into right field, and that'll get down for a leadoff single.
Really swinging the bats tonight.
Yep. Look, on Tuesday night, Shaw was a bit scattered around the strike zone. Wasn't exactly, it was never close to like 13 walks territory, but you could tell that, especially some of the off-speed stuff, he was, spiking towards the plate. This is through the left side, and hey, the Blue Sox making adjustments. Because the fastball has been such a key for Shaw to his success, and that was the key to his success Tuesday night. Got to jump on the fastball, first one you see, and back-to-back singles to begin the inning for the Blue Sox, and here comes Sway. So first and second, nobody out. Sway could very easily lay one down here, or he may try to pull even with one swing of the bat. And Shaw's going to spin back towards second. Costello has good speed, so could be a threat to run even. Sway's going to try and lay one down here, which he's not. He's going to swing at the first pitch and foul it off for strike one. See if we can get a Sway home run on camera this time. One he did hit this year, again, was at Town Field in Dorchester. Was unable to film that game because of the Lack of power there.
He was so mad about that.
Yeah, I know, right? Now's your chance. Not going to bunt for a home run, are you? Here's a ground ball to third, on to first. Pulls the first baseman off the bag. What? They called him out. Sway's out. Sam Finn called him out, and the first base was pulled off the bat. I'm not sure if he kept his foot on, or I don't know. From this angle, it looked like he didn't even have contact. I'm looking for the even have a spike on the bag is a question. And Rick DeAngelis, who managed Sam Finn for a few years when he pitched for the Blue Sox, and I think Sway's just been given a warning.
Yeah.
And Rick talking to Sam, and I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get any help in the end. I think it's just going to be a 5-3 sacrifice, and obviously.
I didn't mean to manifest Sway being mad.
Do not taunt the baseball gods, dear. So it does put 2 runners in scoring position, but with 1 out rather than bases loaded, nobody out. And here comes Dylan Walsh. And knowing that Sway is playing first base tonight, if a similar play happens at first and it doesn't go the Blue Sox way that time, he is not going to, I don't know. Here's a line drive into right field for a base hit. 1 run scores. Being waved around third is Gabarty. The throw is offline. It is 3-2. Two-run single for Dylan. And now here's Charlie.
Everybody's fired up.
And that's what you want. It's
That is
playoff
what
baseball,
you want.
baby.
Yeah, for sure. It makes it exciting.
Here's Charlie Walsh. 1-0. I think knowing that the Blue Sox are jumping on the first pitch, first fastball they see in the zone, try to see if you can get them fishing a little bit outside, but not there. 1-0. Here's a grounder up the middle. It's fielded at short, on to first. 2 down. To third goes Dylan. Charlie is retired, and it'll be up to Max Dushney. Dush, 2 for 6 this postseason with an RBI and a walk. Sack fly and 0 for 1 on stolen base attempts. Drove in the game-winning run and the only run in Game 1. Walk-off single off this pitcher, Dan Shaw. Into right center field. That's down for a base hit. We are back to where we started. Dush plates Dylan, and it is 3-3. Second RBI of the postseason for Max Dushney. Lineup turns over now for Jake McElroy. Jake flew out to center his first time up. Down and away for ball 1. Jake 1 for 7 now after the fly out to center his first time up. Looking for his first hit since Game 1 against Shaw and into center field. He did draw 2 walks and score 2 runs on Friday night, but that is his second hit now of the postseason. The inning continues. Here's Jimenez. into left center field by AJ, and that is going to get down and past the center fielder, Tavares. 1 run scores. Here comes another. AJ with a double. It's 5-3. Blue Sox lead.
Definitely making things exciting.
Blue Sox, second consecutive game of a 5-run inning. Jimenez with his second hit of the postseason. And the first was also a double against Shaw, and his first 2 ribbies of the postseason as well. That's in there for a strike. 0-1 to Leonard. Double his first time up with 2 outs in the first, but was stranded there when Jules grounded out. Down and away for a ball, 1-1. The Blue Sox answering the 3-run outburst by the Expos, the bottom of the first, with a haymaker of their own. Quite the counterpunch. You wonder how big this inning could be were it not for the controversial out call at first on Sway's sac bunt. Two and one. And this is the trouble here, because Shaw was best with his fastball on Tuesday night. The Blue Sox are jumping on it, and now he's got to rely on the breaking stuff, which was helpful at times on Tuesday night. But when he did get into trouble back then, it was the breaking stuff that caused him to go a little haywire. But eventually, it was only the 1 run that he allowed as that swung and miss. And, at some point, you just got to go back to what's good for you.
Very true.
A full count now with Alvarez due up next. You don't want to, but if you're the Expos, you don't want to see too many off-speed pitches bouncing 5 feet in front of the plate.
All right.
Wow. I'm not sure if that was Rincon or Leonard who asked for time. Whoever it was not granted, and Leonard drew ball 4 to keep the inning alive. First and second for Jules. Looking for redemption after that ground out with Leonard at second last inning. 0 for 1. Down and away for ball 1. Curveball there. Shot way down and away. Fastball on the outer edge for strike 1. Jules nods. Does the David Ortiz bit. Settles back in. 1-1 with Jimenez at second and Leonard at first. Breaking ball into left field for a base hit. DeAngelis is waving around Jimenez. The throw spikes, and Jimenez is safe at home. It is 6-3.
We're not done. I like that.
Alvarez with the RBI, plating Jimenez. Leonard to second. And now here's Jeff Costello, the man who got this party started with a single. Blue Sox batting around here in the top of the second, 6 runs. And it looks like there's going to be some action now in the Expos bullpens. That's down and away for ball 1. Whoa. Blue Sox dugout loving the effort there on the swing by Costello. Something I think I would have expected out of Andrew Salima in the mud pit at LHS the other night when Game 3 was postponed. Salima trying to bat right, basically being asked to come out to the batter's box to test it, and Salima hits left. He's not a switcher, but I had to get him to hit righty, do the righty stance, and did the same thing. 1-2 to Costello. I don't know, maybe it might help him hit better. Little chopper in front of the plate. Throw down to first is in time, and the inning is over, but the Blue Sox with a counter punch, and a huge one at that. 6 runs here in the top of the second through a buck and a half, 6-3. Well, we'll see if the 6-run.
Let there be light.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So we'll see if that 6-run top of the second will help Deschanel settle in. Hope the sunburn isn't too bad. That wasn't a factor. He'll face Jose Paulino, Michael Oliveira, and Josh Bone here in the bottom of the second. And that'll be strike 1 to the Expos first baseman, Jose Paulino. One and one. Up it in for a ball. It is 2-1 to Paulino. Banked 300 this postseason. Now he's ahead 3-1. 2 for 6 with a double and RBI, 2 walks. That's in there for a strike, full count. Deschanel delivers outside for ball 4, a leadoff walk for Jose Paulino. So Luke Deschanel allows the leadoff walk. And here is Oliveira. Michael 1 for 5 through the Expos' first 3 postseason games. Includes a triple against the Sabres. He's behind 0-1. Since 2010, across the Yawkey League and the Commonwealth League and the ICL, Oliveira is a career .238 postseason hitter. 1-1 is the count. Last year in the postseason, Oliveira went 4 for 18 with 2 RBIs. Grounder to third, Jimenez to second for 1, on to first. Double play. Around the horn, 5-4-3, and the bases are empty with 2 down. Early in the season, infield defense was a little bit of a bugaboo for the Blue Sox, but about as routine as you get there, and Sway with a nice pick at the end. Gonna try and butt his way on here as Bone, which would be quite the departure from his impact in Friday night's game. A 3-run home run that put the Expos up 4-1. That was the last time they led in that game. They did pull back even at 5, then the Blue Sox 5-run bottom of the 5th ended up being the difference. Here's a grounder past the diving Jimenez down the line and left for a base hit. Bone will hold there with a single. So a 2-out base hit keeps the inning alive and brings up Lucas Rincon. Rincon 1 for 4 in his first 3 postseason games. It does not include Friday night. And 1 hit, and the 1 RBI came in the wild card game against the Sabres. That's down and away for ball 1. Only played in 6 games in the regular season, and slash 250, 400, 250. And now he's ahead 2-0. Again, this is the spot where that has allowed Blue Sox opponents to stay in games where the Blue Sox could otherwise really pull away, and that is the inability to finish off innings cleanly, especially at the bottom of the order.
Yeah.
Quick conference here with Sway and Dush and Luke Deschanel. And very quickly here. And sure if
You really can't beat Sway's leadership
no,
on this team.
The difference in the attitude and the energy from the Blue Sox when both Sway and Alvarez are present is palpable.
It's electric.
Yeah, seriously. And like that doesn't necessarily mean, you know, the Blue Sox won't win if one or both of them aren't available, but it is just a very different monster. And now it is 3-2 to Rincon on a couple of close pitches on the outer edge. And sometimes, and you know, veteran leadership can be the difference between a win and a loss in tightly contested, high-stakes games like this one. Bone will be off with the pitch. Deschanel delivers the 3-2, popped up into right field, and it'll be caught for out number 3 by Jake McElroy, and the side is retired. Through 2, 6-3 Blue Sox. I'd like to imagine that's the son that Sway was telling Luke after he fell behind 3-0. You know, just throw strikes. This guy's the number 10 hitter for a reason. Don't mess around. You know.
Yeah.
And sometimes you know guys got to be reminded of that. You know, not every lineup can be your league's equivalent of the Murderers Row Yankees. Even the 2004 Yankees. You know, you had Jorge Posada in the 9 slot in some games. You know. Like, no disrespect to the talent. Like you're not going to get, like, whatever your league's equivalent of that, no disrespect to the talent in that league. But, like, we're not playing Diamond Dynasty. Come on.
Perspective is important in
Yep.
a lot of ways in life.
Yeah, I've learned that a lot over the last couple of years. You know, and, you know, just because, you know, like, you can tell yourself, you know, okay, things suck, but, you know, the worst thing you can tell yourself in order to try and maintain perspective is that other people have it worse. Yeah, of course, but that doesn't necessarily change anything about your current situation, whatever it might be. So just, you know, don't be afraid to ask for help, folks.
Life lessons with Sam.
All right, we go to the top of the 3rd, and it will be Gabardi, Feliciano, and Walsh due up. And if anyone gets on, Walsh. Gabarty with a single, his first time up, first of back-to-back singles in that top of the second, that 6-run top of the second. Shaw back out there, and he misses high for ball one. Like many contemporary philosophers, I especially enjoy giving helpful advice to people who are happier than I am. 1-1 is the count. Tom Lehrer's material is all in the public domain. It's okay. I can't get sued. 1-1. 1-2. Grounder down the third baseline, but a foul ball. Good effort over there by Bone, but gets a reprieve there. Otherwise, you might be looking at extra bases for Dom to lead off the inning.
So how much do the lights make a difference at a field like this?
Well, I mean, obviously lights make a difference at any field, for the obvious, for some of the more obvious reasons. But I think looking back on Friday night, the Expos had their big inning just shortly after the lights turned on. Gabarty into center field. I don't think Taveras is going to have to move the goalposts here. One down. But then again, Wannett was cruising through the first inning of that game, and it was mostly with the fastball. So, like, what Chris and I were talking about the other night, that basically he was pitching to the Expos tempo. Oh, boy. Went around, strike one, and
No, he didn't. Some sideline umpires over there.
Well, Sway and Sammy Finn are going to have a few adult beverages after this one to get past this game, I think. It is 0-2. Oh, boy. Technically, Sam Finn is a member of the Blue Sox brother, and he did pitch for us, and he was at our reunion, our 30th reunion, so don't sour anything. That's high for ball one. Look, Sammy being only comparatively recently retired from playing compared to other umpires, I think gives him a little bit of a better perspective as to what some guys joke, when some guys are joking and when some are a little more, legitimately upset about certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Into left center field and gets past the left fielder all the way to the fence into the deepest part of the park. Sway with a stand-up double. Well,
Not playing that up at all. No.
nah. Oh, is Sal Mirabella trying to go out to try to diffuse the situation between Sammy and Sway? What's going on? Oh boy. All right. 1 out double for Sway. Not a home run, but an extra base hit on camera anyways. Here's Dylan Walsh. Hey, when you're feeling good, you're feeling good. I was more concerned for Sway the other night when he had to just checking the Expos I thought the Expos were going to try and appeal something, but just making sure how many outs are in. It is in fact 1 out, but where was I before that? Anyways, here's Dylan. Oh yeah, I was a little more concerned for Sway, pulling up into second there, slowing down a little bit. I mean, it's one thing when you've got an obvious double and you don't need to stretch it into a triple. A little more concerned for Sway Friday night when he had to lay out and do a really big stretch to try and haul in a ground ball up the line. He'll have to stay at second here as that gets Dylan for out number 2. But no worse for the wear after that one. But up to Charlie to try and keep the line moving here in the top of the 3rd. A 3-run bottom of the 1st by the Expos. Returned in kind and then some in the top of the 2nd by the Blue Sox. 6-3 is our score. Trying to cash in here as that is downstairs for ball 1. Sway looking to see if he can get to 3rd on that one, but Rincon keeping it in front of him. Charlie with a ground out to short his first time up. So Sway's 1 for 1. Dylan now 1 for 2, and Gabardi now 1 for 2. Here's a grounder up the middle, diving stop, unsuccessful. Here comes Sway to make it 7-3 and tack on the extra point.
Driving the train.
Driving the bus. Over Gedman's dog. Send all questions, comments, and howls of outrage to Rick DeAngelis. Here's Dush. 0-1. Everyone in the Blue Sox lineup has a hit tonight now.
Yay.
And we're only in the 3rd inning. And it's not exact, and it's not even, it's not even that this game is out of reach yet either, but Blue Sox finding their groove early offensively, and you'll love that the later this game goes, although you have to wonder how much longer Shaw is for this game. As Charlie takes off for second, he'll get there uncontested because the pitch went to the backstop.
I thought he was going to keep going for a second.
Yeah, he might have had a window there, but a favorable bounce back to Rincon there off the backstop will only allow Charlie to just get the stolen base there and not get to 3rd on a wild pitch or anything like that, as he was running with the pitch. Now it's 1-1 with the runner in scoring position for Dush, who grounds this one to the left side. Petroni handles a slow bouncer high, and landing on the first base bag is Paulino for the out that retires the side.
That was close.
Sigh of relief there for the Expos, but they allow 1 run on 2 hits, and the Blue Sox leave 1 to make it 7-3 Blue Sox after 2.5. Yes, sir. Coldonado, got it. Yep, we'll do. All right. Good. Yeah, Coldonado is the new pitcher. Thank you. You heard the man. Coldonado, the new noodle for the Lexington Blue Sox. 2 innings by Tucker Deschanel, Luke Deschanel, excuse me. Tuck, when was the last time you played organized baseball? Figures. Okay.
He just tried to give you credit for being out there pitching tonight.
Cespedes, yeah. Thank you. Okay. So Donato takes over after 2 innings from Luke Deschanel. Donato, 4 games in the regular season and a 2.47 ERA. In 5 2/3 innings, went 5 hits, allowed 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, and 9 strikeouts, and hit 1 batter. Picked up his 2nd win of the season at this field against the Expos on August 1st. 2 innings of work, 3 hits, no runs, no walks, and 3 Ks. This is his first appearance of the postseason. And a couple of changes upcoming for the Expos to let you fine folks know about. Now, Luis Cespedes, the man we had been speculating would get the start tonight, he is going to take over on the mound in the 4th inning, according to Brandon Anderson. But right now, here is Ryan Petroni, who takes strike 1 from Cole Donato. Petroni not happy with the call, but that did look like a good spot for a strike. Looked about where some strikes have been called tonight. Now a swing and a miss by Ryan is 0-2. Top 3 hitters in the order due up for the Expos here. Petroni, Taveras, and Soto. The other change to let you know about for the Expos, Hunter Weissman is going to take over behind the plate for Rincon. Here's a chopper back to the mound and a long underhand toss, and despite turning on the Jets at the end, Petroni is out by a step and a half for out number 1. So here's Taveras. We've been wondering, as we've played more and more games of this field, when that cavernous outfield with the soccer nets in play would become a factor, and really only started to become kind of a factor tonight here. Wouldn't necessarily call it game breaking, but seen more balls hit in that, especially in the direction, especially in the one in left center tonight than at any point before in this season. That's fouled off 0-2 to Taveras with a single his first time up. Seven runs on 10 hits rather for the Blue Sox, and we're only through 3 innings. 3 runs on 4 hits for the Expos. Breaking ball just missed outside. The count will be 1-2. Great spot there. A little bit of a sidearm sling there by Donato. Looked like he got the outside edge to no avail. Taveras still alive at 1-2. Here it is. Now to the gap in left center field. Now it's his turn to move the goalpost. Oh, cut off nicely in center field, and Taveras, despite his speed, is only going to get a single out of that one. Great jump to cut it off by Costello and prevent Taveras from getting extra bases, but he does have a 1-out single, his second of the ball game.
A lot of Blue Sox love on the poll right now. I just checked.
Here's Soto, the designated hitter.
Hello.
Not a foul ball. It's there's the call. A bit of a delayed call there from the umpire. I wasn't sure if that was a foul ball, if it was swung on and miss, went straight to the backstop.
Came right at me.
Yeah, I know, right? And eventually, dear, when you do enough of these games over the years, you don't flinch at those, knowing you have this in front of you. What really gets you is, like, if there's ever a gap at the very bottom of the backstop, gotta watch your toe beans there. I actually just said the word toe beans on a baseball broadcast.
Yes, you did.
Hound brain. 0-1 is the count. 0-2 is the count. I don't think there was any argument from Soto that it was a strike. It sounded like it hit his bat anyways, but I thought it felt like, did it hit a piece of dush or instead of his bat was a question. So otherwise, you got to run in scoring position. Outside 1-2. Paulino due up next at a 2-run triple. His first time up. Here's the pitch from Donato. And that gets away from Dush and up to second goes Taveras. Soto able to hold up. 2-2, and there is the runner in scoring position. Paulino due up next, and then Batista. Into right field, McElroy makes the catch, and Taveras had gotten way off the bag when that ball was hit and didn't get back in time to tag to third. So he's got to stay there now with 2 down. The outfield speed tonight for the Blue Sox has been a factor here. In this inning and alone, in fact. That curveball gets to the outside edge, rather, for strike 1 to Leon Paulino. A 2-run triple his first time up. Fly ball into center field. Paulino pitches the bat in disgust, and a little bit of miscommunication at the end, but it's going to be Gabardi making the catch to retire the side, and the Expos cannot cash in. 7-3 Blue Sox after 3. So obviously not nearly as fast-paced a game as most of the games we had seen to this point between these two teams. Even the 10-5 win, I mean, on 13 walks aside, Blue Sox.
A different feel to this game.
Yeah, that series was at a turning point in favor of the Expos in the second inning, and the fact the Blue Sox were able to turn it right back around in their favor so shortly after, especially considering that the Expos won Game 2 to pull even. Baseball butterfly effect, And now here's Luis Cespedes. He's got the win against the Sabres in the wild card game. He only went 4 innings, though, allowed 3 hits, 4 runs, 2 of which were earned, walked 5 and struck out 10, and hit 2 batters. In the regular season, 6-1 with a 1.81 ERA, and in 46 1/3 innings, allowed 24 hits, 15 runs, 12 which are earned, walked 36 and struck out 70, surrendered 1 home run, and hit 6 batters. He threw 2 no-hitters in his final 3 starts, one of which was against the Sabres, and one of which was against the Brighton Braves of the Yawkey League. He only has 2 wins against ICL competition this year. They were both against the Sabres, and his 1 loss again this season was also against the Sabres. Down away for ball 1 to Jake McElroy to begin the top of the 4th. That's in there for a strike, 1-1. Cespedes pitched in the Blue Sox season opener, the scoreless 9-inning tie on June 3rd. Pitched an inning, allowed 1 hit, no runs, 2 walks, and 1 K. Three and 1 is the count. To McElroy to be followed by Jimenez and Leonard. Remember, Weissman now behind the plate. Here's a drive into center field, a step in, a step back, and a catch by Taveras. Did he catch it? Or no, he got down. Got down. Oh.
Yeah, it didn't look like he got it to me.
Again, I've well, all right. Hey, leadoff single. Gotta love it. McElroy's 2 for 3. Didn't see it sink that fast, but again, got people in my line of sight here. A check swing and appeal, and Sammy Finn says no. Ball 1. You people mean the world to me. All right, here we go. Runner at first, 1-0 count to AJ, doubles last time up. 2-0 now. Runner goes, pitches a ball, throw down to second. Safe.
safe.
A stolen base for Jake McElroy and a runner in scoring position for Jimenez. McElroy was 2 of 3 in the regular season in stolen bases. He picks up his first steal of the postseason here. And that is low for a 4-pitch walk to AJ. First and second, nobody out for Ben Leonard. A double and a walk to his credit so far. Cespedes looks at second, and McElroy not wasting any time, getting a little bit of a running lead there, but it is strike one in the inside corner to Ben. Cespedes, again looking at second coming set, and comes home with it. Breaking ball in there for strike two. Well, you can't just sit on the fastball. If you are the Blue Sox here, the same way you could with Shaw, as that's fouled off, remains. Oh, and 2 on that foul off there. Outside for a ball, 1 and 2. McElroy at second. Jimenez at first. Breaking ball, just missed up and away. 2 and 2. Some umpires will give you that call, but not getting a strike 3 call on a hammer of a curveball the other night for Hamlet Peralta, what might have been the difference in that game. But when in doubt, just call the express. And a swing and a miss by Leonard for out number 1. This is the first strikeout tonight by a Blue Sox batter. Shaw, strikeout artist in his own right, didn't strike anyone out. 0-1 is the count to Jules. 1 for 2 with a ground out and a single. And Alvarez will be granted time here. I mean, you're never going to win if you don't put the ball in play. And the Blue Sox had done that just about every time until that strikeout. And now Cespedes starting to feel it here after allowing the single and the walk to begin the inning. He is ahead of the veteran Alvarez, 0-2. Jules with a bases-clearing double in Friday's game that brought the Blue Sox back to even at 4-4. And it's a swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Cespedes. He's getting these outs at the right time to try and give the Blue Sox some. Oh, and now we got some mouthing off here between Cespedes and Alvarez, and Feliciano needing to separate just basically putting Jules to the slammer here to make sure things don't escalate. A similar spot happened the other night between Giancarlos Ramirez and Jose Paulino. When Yammer Pineda came into the game, Paulino was saying he wanted to get a piece, as this is into right field for a base hit, being waved around third is McElroy, and he will score, and that will liven up the Blue Sox dugout and give some vindication to Alvarez in the process. It is 8-3. Costello with the RBI single. And Gabardi fouls this one off for strike one. What happened last night is Paulino was saying in Spanish that essentially he wanted, to take, he thought he could, basically take Pineda deep on Friday night. Pineda won that battle, and obviously the Blue Sox won the game. And in the process, and afterwards, the mouthing off, again, in Spanish, continued between essentially Ramirez and Paulino, and the Blue Sox got a warning for such conduct, and with all that dancing over there at second base. Gabardi granted time. Like we already saw, Sway get a warning earlier, and at the end of the game, as this is grounded to third, that'll be a foul ball, and will be 1-2. After the game, I stood there flabbergasted, looking over to my right, and saw John Carlos and Jose and a couple of the other Expos players just laughing it up in the end, and just, again.
That's how it goes, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. Runners go, and the breaking ball's down and away, and hanging onto it is Weissman. It's 2-2 now with two runners in scoring position. But those interactions, I can say those interactions look a little more charged than what we saw, the interactions we saw now look a little more charged, but in the end, are they just going to laugh it off? I don't know. I'm not there on the field, but Blue Sox enjoying it, and you need that fire to win championships, and I think that fire was missing from the Blue Sox last year and 100%. The year before, and things are different this year, but also a lot of familiar faces reigniting that fire. So that's down and away, and it will be a walk to Gabardi to load the bases.
And here comes Sway.
Well, baseball's a family affair for Sway. Dell making his Blue Sox debut earlier this year. See these good things in Xander too. As he continues to develop, and we'll see if he can deliver another clutch hit here. He takes a breaking ball for a strike, and the count will be 0-1. Sway with a sack bunt his first time up that he felt should have been an infield single. A little flare, kicks off the shortstop's glove and into center field for a base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes another. 10-3. So Sway's 2 for 2, picks up a couple ribbies.
It may not be a home run, but this is still a...
He needs 1 more for 4 total bases anyways. Here's Walsh.
This is still a game and a half for Sway.
Driven the other way, foul for strike 1. If you're the Expos, how do you get up from a couple of these counter punches now? Oh, this isn't even a counter. It's just another haymaker to... It's their home game, remember. This being game 4, and the Blue Sox being the 1 seed. Sway's taking off, and he's just going to... DI, sorry, Sway. Second and third now, and 1-1 is the count to Dylan. 1 for 2 with a single and a ground out to second. Breaking ball outside, 2-1. Three and 1. Blue Sox adding on here in the 4th. That's a strike. Dylan was ready to pitch the bat and go to first, but it's a reasonable strike call, I would say. Charlie due up next. And he went around, says the home plate umpire said a strike 3, and the inning is over. The Blue Sox tack on, though, and make it 10-3, halfway home. So, yeah, if you're the Expos, this game isn't over, and you have a little more time because it's your home game, but you got to find a way to rattle Donato and whoever else the Blue Sox may trot out of the bullpen. Because roughed up Shaw for 7 in the first 3. Another 3 off Cespedes. It's not like Cespedes has been completely unhittable all season. I mentioned that he had 2 no-hitters in his final 3 starts.
Well, they're trying their best over there with a little team meeting they just had.
Yep, but logging 4 straight wins against interleague logging those 5 of your 6 wins against interleague competition, when you know that the Intercity League dominated the Park League and Yawkey League in interleague play this year, might throw off your perspective a bit. But hey, you gotta come through in the clutch when it comes to the playoffs. And even though the Expos and Cespedes got that win in the wild card game against Stoneham, it is a much different tone here now in an elimination game against the Blue Sox, trying to make their way back to the ICL Championship Series. Cespedes just pitched the 4th. Yeah, that's what I was told. All right, so here is John Batista to lead things off in the bottom of the 4th against Donato, who delivers strike 1. Another nugget for us, Spruce, or just checking the pitcher?
No, well, the 6-run inning is our 5th largest inning in playoff games.
Mm-hmm.
We've now scored double digits.
In consecutive playoff games. Yep.
And tonight we're hitting. Oh, we have more hits tonight than we had in the first 3 games.
I had to figure. Yeah, every hitter in our starting lineup had a hit by the end of the 2nd inning. Yeah. Here's a drive the other way by Batista into the corner, and that is a fair ball. He's on his way to 3rd, and he will get there sliding with a leadoff triple. One hitter at a time, as Brandon Anderson saying from the Expos dugout, that is exactly how you've got to play it if you're the Expos. Down 7, you have 12 outs to play with to try and pull even.
Game isn't over till it's over.
No, exactly. Still plenty of time. As this is a floater to the right side, and it's way out of nowhere.
He's like, nope, that's mine.
Better check for rug burns after this one, man.
His old man knees aren't going to take much more.
I think he's torn both quads at this. He's torn both quads, and at least a couple other things at this point. There was one point a couple years ago where he was actually leading the league in hitting before he suffered a season-ending injury. And Sal Mirabella was in the first base coach's box at the time when it happened, and he could hear the pop. Oof. 1-1. to Paulino. Blue Sox have more hits in this game than they had in the first 3 combined. 2-1. Double-digit runs in consecutive postseason games. The 6-run inning they had in the second. The 5th highest scoring postseason inning for the Blue Sox since 2006. 2-2 is the count now after that swing and miss by Paulino, who walked his first time up. Oliveira due up next. In there for strike 3 called.
And the Blue Sox dugout loves it.
Again, yeah, but you love the energy, but remember, it is only the 4th, and you still got some work to do. Lineup is going to turn over again before long for the Expos. But here is Oliveira, grounded into a 5-4-3 double play his first time up. 1-0. Look good. Blue Sox dugout thought so, but to no avail. I think you're just going to do that for every pitch at this point.
Why not?
Even if that was pretty clearly a ball. It's 2-0. Sometimes you got to get the peanut gallery going to try and rattle the opposition. It's 2-1. That was one pitch they weren't sure about, apparently.
I guess so.
2-1 is the count to Oliveira. Bone due up next, and then Weissman behind him. That's in there for strike 2. 2-2. The 3 strikeouts by Cespedes in the 4th, the first 3 strikeouts of the night for Expos pitching. Just missed high, and the count will be full. 3-2. In there for strike 3 called, and the side is retired. Back-to-back backwards Ks for Coldonado, and the Blue Sox still lead 10-3 after 4.
It's true.
Cespedes back out there for his second inning of work. He will face Charlie Walsh, Max Dushney, and Jake McElroy as the Blue Sox, with back-to-back 10 spots and more hits in this game than the first 3 games of the series combined. 9 defensive outs away from returning to the Intercity League Championship Series against their longtime rivals, the Andre Chiefs, who are in search of back-to-back ICL titles after sweeping the Melrose Americans in the semifinals. Here's Charlie. Takes down away for ball 1. Charlie is 1 for 2 with a ground out to short, a single, and a stolen base. Cespedes delivers. 2-0. Cespedes, sophomore, just finished his sophomore year at Merrimack College. Behind 3-0. He was part of a combined no-hitter this season for the Warriors against Maryland Eastern Shore. 3-1 is the count. 2 solo no-hitters for the Expos this season in the span of his final 3 starts. Into left field, and that'll get down for a base hit and then kick away from the left fielder. Charlie's turning on the Jets. He's on his way to second, and he's going to be out by about 10 feet despite trying to do basically a triple axel into second to get around the tag.
He tried.
He tried, and he failed. The lesson is never try. 1 down. He does get a single out of it, though. Hit parade continues for the Blue Sox, but the leadoff man eventually is retired. Here is Dush, 1 for 2 with a single and a ground out to short. Both his hits in this series have been against Dan Shaw, and all of his RBIs coming against Shaw as well, including the game winner, walk-off winner in Game 1 Tuesday night, and now he is ahead 2-0. Fouled off the other way. Count will be 2-1 to Dush. The Expos being a 4 seed is maybe not really fair to the talent on their roster, because you look at the standings this season, the ICLs, that's up and in, and Dush draws another walk. What else is new this season? Great to have a guy who can get on base like that at the bottom of the order. We talk about not about the Blue Sox, maybe having difficulty getting guys out at the bottom of the order. Well, Dush makes this exceptionally difficult for the opposition. Lamp turns over for McElroy, 2 for 3 with a couple of singles and a stolen base. And Cespedes gets strike 1 in there. Top 4 teams in the ICL this year were all 640 or better winning percentage. That's high. Here's a throw down to second, and he's safe. Expos are not happy. Brandon Anderson coming out to the mound. Stolen base for Dush. Trying to have a chat with the umpire here, but I don't know if this is going to help. The Expos, top 4 teams were all 640 or better, and the Expos had to play a 1-game playoff with the Stoneham Sabres, who finished at 400 winning percentage, to get to this point. Now, obviously, the interleague play with the Yawkey and the Park leagues, the Intercity League dominated that, so they can skew the numbers maybe a little bit there. But again, 640 was the winning percentage.
He's still yelling about that over there.
Petroni, yeah, the shortstop. Petroni and Oliveira, who are the middle infielders for the Expos, are the ones who are still, would be the most upset and are still very upset. And Sam Finn's telling Brandon Anderson, hey, sir, please please control your client. Both parents are lawyers. Here's a fly ball into right. Dush getting back to the bag, and it gets all the way to the fence. Dush being waved around third. It was lost in the lights. Here comes the throw to the plate, and he is out. Yeah, and Dush is limping a little bit coming off the mound, and yeah, the late break there. I don't blame him, obviously, because the way that Batista and Taveras lost it there.
I would have kept him at third on that one.
Yeah, but you'd rather second and third 1 out than runner at second 2 down. But at the same time, strategically, Rick, why not? You got a 7-run cushion. Try to, exert your advantage. Extend your advantage. Keep the pressure on, whatever you want to do. And, well, I think Batista actually, I don't know if it was necessarily a matter of him being hurt, him losing, because he's coming off the field right now. He might have been hurt. And let's see. I'm trying. Is that Cloutier out there? That would be the easiest thing for the Expos to do. Just have him swap with the extra hitter Cloutier. Here's a throw down to third. A stolen base attempt, and it goes up the line. Oh, time is called. Wait. Hang on. Hang on. Oh. Home plate umpire saying that McElroy has to go back to second. Someone granted time is the question? What?
Some interesting calls this game.
Yeah. So what was the? So someone was granted time, or what was? Did you catch what happened? I didn't catch it. It might have been Cloutier. I haven't. Brandon didn't tell me, but if it's Cloutier, I assume it would just be a straight swap extra hitter for right field. But Cloutier is the EH. Is into right field. That's going to get down for a base hit, and that'll bring home McElroy anyway. Much ado about nothing in the end. It's 11-3 as Jimenez picks up the RBI single. Thank you. Appreciate it. Here's Leonard. Downstairs for ball 1. I don't know what it is about potential clinching games where it's not only like the players' emotions might be a little hotter, but like it's always like, it can always be a magnet for controversy too. Even if in the end the score would not be, in doubt. Here's a drive into right field, and once again, a lot of miscommunication there, but eventually Taveras able to track it down, and it's a kind of a wacky ball game, I would say. It's 11-3 after 4.5. Couple of changes for the Blue Sox as we go to the bottom of the fifth. Justin Bosland takes over at first base for Josue Feliciano. And the new pitcher is Yammer Pineda, whom Jose Paulino wanted to try and take his cuts against on Friday night, and Pineda won that battle, and a war of words ended up being diffused with a couple of playful shoves between him and Giancarlos Ramirez after the game. Anyways, here is Justin Bone to lead things off. Will be followed by Hunter Weissman and Ryan Petroni. Pineda with a full windup and the pitch, and first pitch swinging, pulled well foul for strike one. Yep, Pineda and Boz. Yep, got it. Yep, got it. Thank you. But yeah. Check swing and off the handle of the bat for strike two on the foul ball to Bone. To finish my thought about, a fourth place finish for the Expos being kind of unfair to, that kind of belies their talent. Last year, this is swung on miss for strike three. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Josh Bone. And now here's Weissman. Obviously, this year with the interleague play games and the ICL dominating that led to, more wins for ICL teams than they would just playing against each other. Here's a broken back grounder to short. On to first. Fine play at short by Charlie Walsh. 2 down. Weissman is retired, his first AB of the ball game. And lineup turns over for Petroni. But last year in a 6-team league, Melrose Americans were in 4th place in the ICL, and they were 10-14, which is a .417 winning percentage. 640 would have been good for third, but third was the Blue Sox at 520. Expos at 800, the Chiefs at 720 last year. And again, the interleague play arrangement contributes to the number of available wins for ICL teams, but got to fight for everything here, but the Expos down 8 and down to their final 7 outs. 1-1 is the count to Petroni, who's 0 for 2 at the top of the lineup with a ground out to third and a ground out to the pitcher. Pineda is the third pitcher of the game for the Blue Sox after 2 innings by Luke Deschanel and 2 innings by Cole Donato. Donato would be in a line for the win if this holds. One is the count to Petroni, the Expos shortstop, who also plays for the Boston A's in the Park League. A broken bat, looper to second, and caught by Dillon for the out that retires. Oh, excuse me, 2 down. I was going to say.
Yeah,
I was
they're
going to
all
say.
leaving.
They're all leaving. I was going to say they're all hanging around for a while. I think they got about as frozen as I did. But 1, 2, 3, go the Expos in the bottom of the 5th. To the 6th we go. 11-3 Blue Sox. Julian Alvarez to lead things off here in the top of the 6th. Cespedes still out there for the Expos. Alvarez, Costello, and Gabardi due up for the Blue Sox, 6 defensive outs away from returning to the Intercity League Championship Series. And it's high for ball 1, 1-1 to Jules, who is 1 for 3 with a ground out to third, a single, and a strikeout. Breaking ball, oh, that missed, and the count is 2-1. That hit him? It did.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, oh, no, oh, no, oh, no. Sway the first out there to separate Jules. He had to do earlier in the game. Not happy, and like, I'm not sure if that's something. I'm not sure that's a pitch that I think was necessarily that was thrown at Jules with intent. Like,
And the umpire's saying stuff to the Expos guy over here, too.
yeah, like Batista's got some words coming out of the Expos dugout too, and umpire's trying to diffuse the whole situation here. Sal Mirabella going over to Rick DeAngelis, and I mean Sal being a former Lexington police officer, you hope he doesn't have to, go into that territory for de-escalation in this situation. The umpires are going to get together here. I'm not sure if there will be any warnings or ejections or anything. Rick DeAngelis even with some words for Cespedes and another Expos player there as he goes over to first, and he's talking to Sway, he's talking to Jose Paulino, he's talking to Alvarez. Is that Brett Stone who's coming out from the dugout thinking he's going to pinch run here, but not yet. We're just trying to sort this all out. Again,
This is crazy.
No, I know. And the thing is, this is not nearly the craziest thing I've ever seen in a Blue Sox playoff game. Never seen this, things deteriorate this much psychologically. And I know we were already drawing enough comparisons to 2015 the other night, but that was a game that was much tighter at the time when everything, started to slip slowly around our ankles back then. This is an 8-run game in the top of the 6th. Not like 6 over the course of like 50 innings or something like that. So this isn't a couple weeks ago, Javi Baez of the Detroit Tigers got hit with a pitch, and he didn't charge the mound, but he had some words for the pitcher, and then the Guardian, I think they were playing the Guardians. The Guardians announcer said, "No one's trying to hit you, Javi. You're not even hitting 200." Alvarez is obviously a much better hitter than that, but it's just a situation that you obviously don't want to see, spiral. And if you're the Blue Sox, you don't want to allow the Expos to get any momentum out of this and potentially make a massive comeback, as long as we're talking about drawing comparisons to Game 3 of the 2015 Championship Series. So Cespedes is going to get get a warm-up toss or two in here, and he's still looking over at first. Is Alvarez still over there? All right. Well, I guess Sway and Sal and everyone. Sway's out there. He's coaching first now, and this better. Yeah, I mean, Sal at the very least speaks a little Spanish, but with Sway, obviously more helpful there to try and diffuse the situation overall. I mean, no way you can control that, but that's not what you want to see if you're the Expos. A foul ball headed straight towards your dugout after all. You can't control that if you're Costello. Like, what are you supposed to do? It's 0-1. Let me just go back to Cespedes' numbers here. Fouled off, it's 0-2. Cespedes hit 6 batters in 46 1/3 innings in the regular season. He hit 2 batters against the EI Braves in 6 innings on June 24th. Never hit more than 1 in any other game in the regular season. We'll jog up to second here for Alvarez. I know you can't do it, but like if you're, I know it's against the rules, but if I were Sway, I would like to see if there's some way I could like be the trail runner just in case something happens. If he's trying to mouth off at Oliveira or Petroni as he gets into second. You have a second base coach? Here's a liner that's caught by Paulino for out number 1.
That was a great catch.
Costello is now 2 for 4. And here is Dom. Cespedes hit 2 batters in 4 innings against the Sabres on August 5th in that win in the wild card game. It's 0-1 now to Gabardi. He is 1 for 2 with a single, a fly out and a walk. Sam Finn says he did not go there, and it is 1-1. Little chopper scooped up by Cespedes, throws to first in time for the out. To third goes Alvarez. 2 down. Nice athletic play off the mound by Cespedes, too. That's a kind of off-balance throw you expect from a shortstop or a third baseman. Pitchers are athletes, too. Here's Justin Boslin getting his first at-bat of the ball game after Sway went 2 for 2, and Boz hit with the very first pitch. So it'll be runners at the corners. So a perfect night at the plate for the first baseman. Sway goes 2 for 2 with a double single plus the sac bunt, and Boz is hit by a pitch. And now here's Brett Stone to pinch hit for Dylan Walsh. Outside for ball 1. Throw back to first and back safely is Boz. Stone was 3 for 9 in 9 games in the regular season for the Blue Sox. With a home run and 4 RBIs, I'll give you one guess as to where that home run was hit. At Westy against the base. It is not that much further down the line and left here at Minuteman than it is at Westy. It's just shorter everywhere at Westy than it is at any other field the Blue Sox have played this year. That was by necessity, though, because the walls at Westy can be moved out. But there's a soccer practice and a softball game also going on the exact same pitch that the Blue Sox and the base were playing that night. So that was as much room as they had. Brett with a 5-pitch walk to keep the inning alive and load the bases for Charlie. Charlie with a couple of singles and a steal. 11-3 is our score. Top of the sixth, 2 down. Breaking ball in there for strike 1. Still didn't get confirmation on who the current right fielder is for the Expos. We saw Batista come off the field after a fly ball into the right center field gap last inning, and that's in there for a strike with a fastball. 1-2. It could very easily have been a straight swap with Batista now being the extra hitter and Cloutier out there and right, but again, don't have the confirmation on that. But knowing Cloutier's knee injury, not sure if he's the guy you want to trot out there. Soto's the designated hitter tonight, so it's not Soto out there. And a swing and a miss, and that'll do it for the top of the sixth. A drama-filled half inning, and the Blue Sox leave the bases loaded 11-3 after 5.5.
And it's not over yet.
Nope. But look at it this way. We still got time. We still got plenty of time to finish this one. Lights go out at 10. It's only 8:34 right now. We started about 6:45. Actually, I'm going to try and catch Brandon right now. As here comes John Carlos Ramirez to take over on the mound for the Blue Sox. Ryan, who's in right? Who's in right? Cloutier now? For you guys, yeah. Yeah, so there's a swap EH in right field. Batista's the EH now? Okay, thanks. All right. Well, that's what I thought, but... Okay, so John Carlos Ramirez on the mound now for the Blue Sox. Fourth pitcher of the game for Lexington. 2 innings each by Deschanel and Donato. 1 for Pineda. And now here is John Carlos. It is, in fact, Cloutier in right, and Batista's the EH now.
So Stone, who didn't get the pinch run, pinch hit, walked in, is now at second. It was Brett Stone.
No, I got that.
Oh, okay.
I got that. All right. I think we're all squared away on changes here. It's John Carlos Ramirez on the mound for the Blue Sox. He only pitched in 1 game for the Blue Sox this season, and it was against the Boston Padres on July 10th. Pitch an inning, no hits, runs, or walks, or strikeouts. On the mound, at the plate rather, he was 4 for 19 with 3 doubles and 2 ribbies. Has not pitched in the postseason for the Blue Sox in his 2 years with the team. Oh.
Scared him a little bit.
Umpire was expecting it, but Dush saw it the whole way. 0-1 is the count. John Carlos is waiting for his guys to get back in the dugout here. One was the count to Tavares, that will be followed by Soto and Paulino. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Broken bat, knocked down, over to second, and on to first. 1-4-3, gotcha. Who was it again, Brandon? Thank you. All right, so Moynihan is going to pinch hit for Eduardo Soto here. Sean Moynihan, the regular season, slash 265, 362, 306, and comes up empty for strike one. It's 0 for 1 in game 2, the one Expos win of this series so far, with a walk as well. Appeal down to first, and he did not go. It is ball 1. 1-1 to Moynihan. And Leon Paulino due up next. So Moynihan pinch hits for Soto. He finishes his night 1 for 2 with a single and fly out to right. 1-2 is the count to Moynihan. Brett Stone stays in the game at second base. 2-2. Thank you. David Vanderzauwen in the game at third base for Anderson Jimenez, and that is up and away to make it a full count to Sean Moynihan. So Vanderzauwen, Charlie Walsh, Brett Stone, and Boslin, the new infield for the Blue Sox. A swing and a miss. 2 up, 2 down. Moynihan is retired, and we have to Paulino to try and keep the line moving. Outfield, as far as we know, still Gabardi, Costello, and McElroy. Paulino 1 for 2 with a triple. That 2-run triple seems like a long time ago right now, as far as the Expos are concerned. And read the top line. It is 0-1.
They're making sure we're awake back here.
Yep. I mean, with the camera going black for just a second, it's like, really, he's just, just a. It's like the beginning of an isekai. 0-1 is the count. I don't even watch anime.
Anyways.
Oh, driven deep to right, and that is off the base of the wall, and wow. Paulino stood to admire it for a while, thought he had driven it out, and all he's getting is a single, and he's still barking at John Carlos Ramirez, although this is a little bit more the friendliness that John Carlos told us about last night, that this is not animosity that we had seen earlier. But I guess Paulino got John Carlos, where he and Jose did not get Pineda last night. But why are you standing to admire that one down 8 anyways, even if it does go out? 1-0 is the count to Batista, who's now the extra hitter. Was, in fact, a straight swap with Cloutier positionally. Two 2-0. Paulino with Batista with a sac fly and a triple. His sac fly brought home Paulino for the last Expos run. He's now ahead 3-0. With Cloutier's spot due up next. I believe that is someone other than Cloutier in the on-deck circle right now for the Expos. That's in there for a strike. 3-1. Josh McElroy and Vanderzauwen due up in the top of the 7th for the Blue Sox. Grounder the other way and through for a base hit into right. Paulino walking slowly back to second after the hard turn. I thought they were going to slap the tag on him there as the throw came back in, but still a long way to go, though, for the Expos to even have the tying run at the plate. Going to be a pinch hitter now for the Expos. Manny Castro. And he takes strike one. Castro was 1 for 3 in game 1 of the series and 1 for 2 in game 2. And he's now behind 0-2. So Batista picks up his second base hit of the ball game. And Castro pinch hitting for Cloutier, the right fielder, behind 0-2. Downstairs for ball 1, 1-2. Castro had played third base this season. So might be a position swap upcoming in the top of the 7th. Again, with Cloutier's knee injury. That's downstairs for a ball 2-2. With his knee injury and the turf, you don't want to have him out there in right field too long. We've already seen some chaos out there defensively in right field, in the right center gap for the Expos. It is a full count now to Castro, with Jose Paulino due up next. Ramirez looks at second. Runners will be off with the pitch. Here it is. Strike 3 called, and the inning is over. And, oh. So I'm just going to preface this by saying that these are different umpires and we're here on Friday night. So you see Paulino coming in there to grab and lift John Carlos. If they don't know the context of their interactions Friday, that could have gotten real ugly in the end. But Expos leave 2, and we go to the 7th, 11-3 Blue Sox.
So I don't know if people could hear me for like half the game.
Oh.
Because I couldn't hear anything in my ears for like a while.
That's weird. But also you have a much quieter voice than I do.
But I hear you in my ears now, and I didn't at the beginning of the game.
That's odd. Okay, well.
It's okay. Your voice is the one that's important.
If you insist. Oh, Lordy. Oh. I mean,
That's That's some good context.
Yeah, fair enough. But also, you know, after knowing what happened earlier. Here's Dush to lead things off in the top of the 7th. 1-0 is the count from the new Expos pitcher, Robert Higdon, who pitched in 4 games of the regular season, 3 2/3 innings and a 9.54 ERA. 3 hits, 5 earned runs, 6 walks, and 4 Ks. Two and 1 to Dush. Single, walk, stolen base. Everyone has contributed to the cause tonight for the Blue Sox, offensively and defensively.
I'm glad he was able to walk it off after his run in at home plate earlier.
Yeah, like Dush has been a stalwart defensively and has been a tough out offensively at the bottom of the lineup. He picks up his 2nd walk tonight. Catchers, you know, they're not just infielders. They are an extension of the pitching staff, and because of the physical toll playing the position takes on your body, you know, catchers' careers are often shorter than the average baseball player and than the average position player. And, you know, even over the course of a regular season, they don't play as many games as other position players because they need a rest, you know, every handful of games. Unless you're Yadier Molina or Teddy Chuba. Fly ball to right center field. That will get past the diving right fielder for extra bases for McElroy. Dush around third, and he will score standing up and sliding back into second after the hard turn is McElroy. It is 12-3. McElroy with his 3rd hit of the ball game. And now here is Mrs. Vander Zouwen's baby boy, his first plate appearance of the ball game, taking over defensively at third base for Anderson Jimenez. Fouls this one off for strike 1. 12-3 Blue Sox. And to have a decisive win as this could not have come at a better time for Rick DeAngelis' squad. Rick DeAngelis and Chuck Andre have been friends for as long as they've both been in the Intercity League and even beyond that.
Since the beginning of time.
I know, right? This is being a which time? Like actual time or DeAngelis standard time? 2-1 is the count. Joe Auger is in the on-deck circle right now for Ben Leonard's slot as Vander Zouwen hits this one down the line left. That is a fair ball. That will plate McElroy. And Vander Zouwen hustling his way and sliding into second, trading places with McElroy. 13-3. And it was a rite of summer, an end of summer tradition for almost a whole decade. The Blue Sox and the Chiefs in the ICL Finals. And for the first time since 2016, we are looking at a Blue Sox Chiefs Championship Series. Joe Auger fouls this one off. The Blue Sox and the Chiefs have met a handful of times in the postseason in the semifinals, but bring up the story again about how before the 2017 season, the OWH, Dan Graham, said he had a vision that either the Blue Sox or the Chiefs would not make it to the ICL Finals that year because he felt the rest of the league was starting to catch up with them. Well, he was right in the way that was favorable for him and the Blue Sox. The Chiefs didn't make it, and they didn't make it back to the championship series until last year when they won their first ship since 2014. The hit parade continues for the Blue Sox. Tack on the extra point. It is 14-3. Joe Auger brings home David Vanderzouen. Jake Zawatsky will bat now. Still nobody out in the inning. The Chiefs, the defending champions, that's in there for strike one. Again, winning their first championship since 2014, and doing so by coming back that deficit against the Expos in last year's finals. This will put an end to a streak of 3 consecutive finals appearances for the Expos, all their first 3 years in the ICL. And the Blue Sox, a 1-year absence from the ICL Championship Series, and that in itself was an accomplishment to eliminate the Blue Sox, who had made it to the Championship Series. Last time they hadn't made it was 2006. The Chiefs got the best of the Expos last year, and the Blue Sox will now get to test their mettle against the Chiefs once again for the ICL Championship. Zawatsky is rung up, 1 down now, and Brian Acosta will bat for the Blue Sox.
Everybody gets a turn.
Yep. That's how it is in these games, but you hardly ever expect this to happen in a postseason game. There's a pitch to the backstop, and to second base goes Auger on ball 1, the wild pitch, getting Auger into scoring position. Some more bants in Espanol between Acosta and the Expos dugout, it seems. Here's a grounder, a little stumble there on the mound, picked up at short, but in time to get Acosta. To third on the play goes Auger. 2 down.
Oh, he thought it was done. That was bad.
Woo. Oh, boy. Joe, come on, man. I know, right? What happened to this pace of play stuff? Oh, God, Brandon Anderson's coming out now to talk. I was like, hey, did he run himself out of the game on that play? What's going on? But I don't know what the deal is. But,
They're coming in.
I don't know. I guess it doesn't really – you hope it doesn't matter if you're the Blue Sox. You know, did he – like, if he walked off – like, if he got fully off the field, then, yeah, fine. But, like, you don't want a Benny Agbayani situation from 2000, I think, whatever. I mean, that was different. Agbayani, like, threw a ball that he caught out of play. I think it was the third. I was only the second, and Rick DeAngelis is not having. So it looks like, yeah, he's out. All right, well, whatever. But, well, the Blue Sox extend the lead, and now it is closing time to go to the bottom of the seventh, 14-3. Ryan O'Rourke not happy with the call, thinking that, like, again, if you're the Blue Sox, you hope it doesn't matter, but oh, okay, yeah, all right. Baseball's not for children, as we. Ryan O'Rourke. I didn't know if he was, having some words with either with Sammy Finn or was with the Expos, but the Expos certainly had some words for Rhino there. But I was going to make sure that things don't get out of hand. And what do we got?
So Draper's in the pitch, Travis is in the catch.
Yep, gotcha. Thank you.
Acosta stays in and goes to left.
Mm-hmm.
Gabardi goes to center.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
For those of you scoring at home, Auger is out 5 unassisted for abandoning the base.
Gotcha. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Bruce. So Brian Acosta will stay in the game, and he'll be in left field. And Gabardi goes over to center. And Joe Auger is out 5 unassisted for abandoning the base, which leads to the third out of the inning.
14 runs is tied for the 4th most in a playoff game.
Yep. Tie for the 4th most runs in a playoff game, 14 for the Blue Sox since 2006. And Matt Draper, well, what do you consider this? His in-between session? You have to figure he will get the start game 1 or 2 against the Chiefs.
Keep him hot.
Keep him hot, yep. Because he hasn't pitched since Tuesday. It was a game that I think a lot of us thought he would start.
Have you seen that abandoning the base call before?
I don't know if I've seen abandoning the base specifically, but I don't think I've seen it in a game that I have watched, either in person or on TV.
Interesting.
But yeah. Could you just give me a mic check real quick?
Hello.
Oh yeah. Okay, you are coming in. I couldn't tell for a moment because couldn't tell if you were. Couldn't tell. I know what you said about your audio issues, but anyways. All right.
Here we go.
Jose Paulino of the Blue Sox, 3 outs away from returning to the Intercity League Championship Series. Matt Draper. This is outside for ball 1. Paulino, Oliveira, and Bone Slot in the order due up. Here's a grounder foul. So our outfield right now for the Blue Sox, left to right, is Acosta, Gabardi, and McElroy. Third to first in the infield is Vander Zowen, Walsh, Stone, and Bosland. And Austin Travis also is now in the game catching Matt Draper. 14 runs for the Blue Sox tonight, as we just mentioned. Tied for the 4th most for the Blue Sox in a playoff game since 2006. 3-1 now from Draper to Paulino. Every Blue Sox starter had a hit by the end of the 2nd inning. I'm actually going to tell you that every Blue Sox starter had a hit by they finished the 2nd time through in the order. Travis thought that was strike 3. It was, in fact, strike 2. Even I think we're all a little tired. I think I thought I myself was going to relish the day off tomorrow. Oof. Ball 4.
It's all right.
And a leadoff walk. I mean, this is you can't let it get to you if you're Draper. I mean, obviously he's a great pitcher. He wouldn't have been one of the best pitchers in the league all year if he couldn't get past stuff like that. But you especially can't let that get to you when the Expos would need to bat around a time and a half, basically, to even tie this game. Reasonably speaking. But it is ball 1 now to Oliveira. 2-0. Thinking back on it, hasn't Draper's bugaboo really, this season been like the early innings? Like he gets better as, the games progress, but first inning can be a bit of a challenge. Here's a diving. Oh, Bosland! Oh, he didn't get the tag.
Oh, wow.
L3 for the first out and tried so desperately to tag Paulino, scrambling back. Just the 1 down. Oh, my goodness. Justin Bosland nearly with the play of the season for the Blue Sox. And it's an out. Better than, I guess, the alternative. First and second, 1 down. First and second, nobody out, but first 1 down now. And strike 1 to Bone. The Blue Sox first baseman tonight have been showing out offensively and defensively.
Yeah.
And, of course, the leadership from Sway and some when emotions were running hot earlier. A foul ball, and Bone's behind 1-2.
I'm sure it's not often you get 2 players wearing 42 at the home plate at the same time.
I mean, certainly not since 1997. John Carlos just did the head grab on me like Adrian Beltre always hated. 2-2. Mariano Rivera was the last active player in Major League Baseball to wear number 42 regularly after MLB retired his number league-wide on the 50th anniversary of his bringing the color barrier. And Draper going to step off here. Any active player at the time who was still wearing 42 could continue to do so until they retired. Rivera's the last one. Here's a liner down the line and left. That is a fair ball going into the corner. Paulino's on his way to third, and he will hold there. It's a double for Bone. Second and third, 1 out. Rivera, of course, after he retired, and then 5 years later, became the first unanimous inductee on the baseball writers' ballot into the Baseball Hall of Fame. And, all the accolades and, honors and, gifts that he was given at the end of his career. The most bizarre one, I think, and it swung on and missed for strike 1 to Weissman. Upon his retirement, Hard Rock Cafe retired Enter Sandman by Metallica, which was his entrance theme at Yankee Stadium. Hard Rock Cafe retired Enter Sandman from their playlists at all of their locations worldwide, except for their Yankee Stadium location.
Nice.
This pitch gets away from Travis. Paulino can score standing up. 2-1 is now 14-4. Runner at third now. Rick DeAngelis going out to the mound to have a word with Draper, and obviously you don't want this to be a sign of bigger problems of the championship series on the horizon. Your ace this year having these issues try to wrap up a series, whether or not you're up double digits. Home plate umpire going out to try and break up this conference as there's now action going over to the Blue Sox bullpen. Just make sure things don't get out of hand. Rivera was never a big heavy metal fan. He's indifferent about the song, prefers Christian music, but became friends with James Hetfield after, he really became, he never made Enter Sandman his personality or anything like that. But the reason Enter Sandman became associated with Rivera, that's downstairs 3-1. It started the year prior. He started using, that's foul, swung this foul tip rather into Travis Smith. They really started playing Enter Sandman for Mariano Rivera in 1999. The previous year, in 1998, the Yankees played the San Diego Padres in the World Series. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and hey, when in doubt, just get some wise words from Rick. 2 down, and the Expos down their final out of the season in the person of shortstop Ryan Patrone. So 0-for-3 tonight. The reason the Yankees started playing Enter Sandman for Mariano the year before, they played the Padres and they saw Hell's Bells in the Trevor Time presentation for Trevor Hoffman, and they knew that they wanted that something like that for their then budding superstar closer Rivera, and he eventually settled on Enter Sandman and became as associated with him as the ICL Championship Series is with the Blue Sox. 4-3 groundout ends this game and this series. The Blue Sox win this game 14-4 in the series, 3-1, and they are back in the ICL Championship Series where they will face their old friends and rivals, the Andre Chiefs, starting, we believe, Tuesday at Morelli Field. 14-4 is your final score. The win goes to Yemmer Pineda. The win goes to Cole Donato. The loss goes to Dan Shaw. The Blue Sox tied for the 4th most runs for the team in a playoff game since 2006. More hits in this game than they had the previous 3 games. And the Expos had reached the ICL Championship Series the first 3 years in the ICL. The 4th time is the charm to eliminate them in the semis, however. And so the Blue Sox and the Chiefs in the Championship Series for the first time since 2016. Everything old is new again. The handshake lines, obviously, we saw the tempers flare earlier, but good to see cooler heads prevail in the end. And if you're a Blue Sox fan, good to see them prevail, and in decisive fashion, no less. And once again, them turning the game around in a big way after an early offensive outburst by the Expos. So I'm taking that 4-1 lead on Friday night. They swung it around to a 10-5 win. So I'm taking this 3-0 lead tonight. Then you see the final score here in the bottom right corner of your screen. Josue Feliciano and Julian Alvarez, their leadership cannot be overstated. And whenever they do decide to hang it up, there are guys on this roster who have been around for many years, but it's just hard to replicate what they provide.
For sure.
I believe it's going to be at Morelli Field in Melrose, all of them. Yeah. So, again, we anticipate that Game 1 of the Championship Series will be Tuesday night, 8 p.m. first pitch at Morelli Field in Melrose. You can check intercityleaguebaseball.com for the schedule when that is confirmed. And thanks for watching this presentation of Lexington Blue Sox Baseball here on the Blue Sox Baseball Network on YouTube. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this video on this channel, and be sure to follow and support the Blue Sox and the ICL all year long at intercityleaguebaseball.com and on the book, The Burb and the Gram. Once again, the final score from Minuteman High School in Lexington, Mass. is the Lexington Blue Sox 14 and the Middlesex Expos 4. The Blue Sox win this best-of-5 ICL Semifinals 3-1. They'll face the Andre Chiefs for the ICL Championship starting, we believe, Tuesday night at Morelli Field in Melrose. For all my Reddit friends here at Minuteman and the wife, Katrina Good, my name is Sam Feely. Thanks for tuning in.